Everybody, and welcome to Robert Sarazin Blake from the Kitchen Table. I'm Robert Sarazin Blake. This is the Kitchen Table, and on my right is my associate David Penderlofgren.
Happy to be here, as always.
We are coming to you live from the most northwest corner, the most northwest city, the most northwest state in the lower 48. Every Sunday, bringing you songs, stories, guests, and requests. David, who's our guest this week?
This week, all the way from South Dakota, we have Matt Fockler.
I am so excited to bring my dear friend Matt Fockler onto the show for his very first live stream experience. Matt is a dear friend from the Kerrville Folk Festival, and if you've seen me play or you've seen this show before, you know I often will route myself and the conversation right back to the Kerrville Folk Festival. Very excited to have Matt singing for us today. Of course, before we get into the show, we'd like to take a moment and light a candle, and we are still very much in the midst of a war that I hope does not grow into a world war, but there is a war going on in the Ukraine. So we are lighting the candle for all the suffering in the Ukraine right now. I'm going to open up this show the way I opened up last week's show, and I'm going to open up next week's show too. It's my new song. Finishing up the recording of it in the recording studio. Going to release it on the 24th of March, which will be the 2-year anniversary of Washington State having stay-at-home, stay-safe orders. 2 years. This rainy morning, the clouds are talking to each other, talking about going somewhere else, but they're not. They're just hanging around, just hanging around. You know, my town, it's like your town's a lot like all the other towns. No one's downtown hanging around anymore. Everyone's staying home, maybe just going to the store. Yeah, my town is like your town. It's like all the other towns. No one's downtown hanging around. Everyone's staying home, and you get to feel a little bit alone. Yeah, my town's like your town. It's like all the other towns. Everyone's just sitting around. Sometimes we get to feeling down. Turn on the television, the radio, trying to connect and pound. Sometimes you sit there scrolling, searching for some kind of sound, searching for some kind of common sound. You know, my town is like your town. It's a lot like all the other towns. No one's singing downtown. That's the place we'd go when we needed to be around some people we didn't even have to talk to. Man, we could just be around town. But there is no town when you can't go downtown. Out in the park, out on the street, see a table, grab a seat. My town is like your town, it's a lot like all the other towns. No one's hanging around downtown, reminding each other there is an each other. Only images we're getting are through the screen, forgetting what it's like to see, to touch, to feel. Yeah, my jamboree is a lot like your jamboree. It's better than no jamboree, so we're all kind of here, you see, living this life, the tin can jamboree. My jamboree is a lot like your jamboree, is a lot like a lot of other people's jamborees. So strange not to have someone hug you, hug me. Empty park, empty street, empty table, empty seat. Yeah, my town's like your town's a lot like a lot of other towns. No one's hanging around downtown. No one's staying home when you get to feel them. From my town to your town, across the ocean, the up and down, Antarctic and Arctic. Depends where you stand and which way is up and which is down. Australia, Vietnam. Your town's like my town and all the other towns. No one's hanging downtown, forgetting what it's like to be around. Don't want to forget what it's like to be around. I want to feel how it feels to be around. Don't want to forget what it's like to be around. Want to feel how it feels to be around. Used to meet people out on the street, off to the bar, some pal to meet. The ringleader, the squirrely neater, we all need some sort of acceptance to feel like we caught the bus, to feel like we're us. Some people, you know, give exceptional acceptance a wonderful circumstance if you got the chance, but average acceptance is generally fine. How often can you open up your heart? You're gonna end up crying, just the acceptance of you there, me here eating a sandwich, drinking a beer. Handsome man with a mustache, bank teller with a private stash. Don't want to forget what it's like to be around. Want to feel how it feels to be around. Yeah, my town is like your town. Don't want to forget what it's like to be around. No one's hanging around downtown anymore. Want to feel how it feels to be around. Maybe just going to the store. Don't want to forget what it's like to be around. My town's like your town's like all the other towns. Want to feel how it feels to be, get to feeling a little bit alone. From my town to your town. Don't want to forget what it's like to be around. Everybody's just hanging around. No one's going downtown. I want to feel how it feels to be around. Thank you very much, everybody, for being with us here at the kitchen table on Sunday. Robert Sarazin Blake from the kitchen table. David Penderlofgren is my associate. And the one and only Matt Fockler will be coming at us from South Dakota. He could be coming at us from South Padre Island. He could be coming at us from somewhere in Missouri. We'll be getting to talk a bit more about that later on. You see, I met Matt Fockler down at the Kerrville Folk Festival, where people sit around and play songs in small groups. It's not for everyone, but if it's for you, it's really for you. People come from all over the country down to the Kerrville Folk Festival. They come from all over the world, even to the Kerrville Folk Festival, to sit around with other people who write songs and play songs for each other and stay up very, very late in the Texas night. Which brings me to the trivia question, which is, we all know that the stars at night shine big and bright deep in the heart of Texas. But what does the prairie sky do? Met Matt Fockler playing songs at the Kerrville Folk Festival, and one night stayed up very, very late, and I think Matt was there, but it's hard to say for sure. Playing songs with a guy named Mike Duffy, who came down from Worcester, Mass. And he played these wonderful songs. We loved his songs so much. He said, would you play that one again? Now, normally at the Kerrville Folk Festival, it's one singer, one song. That night, I remember we specifically had Mr. Mike Duffy play a couple of his songs in a row for us, maybe including this one. Marilyn Monroe wore a size 14. There's a lot of size 14s out there. She's the second nicest one I've ever seen. As a boy, I used to sit and think about her a lot. Pray to God I didn't get caught thinking about Marilyn Monroe, those size 14s. Ooh, those hips and those thighs. Ooh, those lips and beautiful eyes. And above, staring at the slits going all the way up one side, size 14. And it was never too tight, but it was always just too tight enough. And seeing for ourselves what we couldn't see wasn't very tough. I saw the pictures of her naked in Playboy. I remember how they made me feel. Because it wasn't a size 14 she didn't have on, so it was no big deal. At 62 she had enough of who she was, so she checked herself out. She and Norma Jean took all the size 14s that headed south. The flowers on her grave aren't just from Joe. A lot of people really love Marilyn Monroe, especially that size 14. David. Especially in that size 14. Yeah, the flowers on the grave aren't just from Joe, 'cause a lot of people still love Marilyn Monroe, especially in that size 14. Still the second nicest one I've ever seen. From the late, great Mike Duffy comes that song. Unfortunately, Mike left the planet before he made a record, so the song just kind of floated around between those of us who were there that night to hear him and carried him on a little bit. Let's take a moment and say thank you to Kimberly, our digital bartender, who makes a drink of the week for us each week. And this week, David, what are we drinking?
We're drinking a whiskey sour.
A whiskey sour?
At our kitchen table, they are blood orange whiskey sours because we invite the irregular to the kitchen table every week.
Woo! And some of you may be thinking, well, Robert's probably just about done talking about the Kerrville Folk Festival for this episode, but no, Robert's still on it. I was aware of Eric Taylor, the songwriter, before I went to Kerrville. Nancy Griffith had sung his song Deadwood, South Dakota, so I was familiar with him, but I really discovered Eric Taylor in a hot Texas Kerrville night, standing as close as I could to the stage at the Kerrville Folk Festival. There's a large seated section and there's a small little triangle where you can dance, and I wasn't necessarily to dance, but I don't like waiting for a seat and I like getting up close, so I'd be up close in the dancing section to see. Not that Eric Taylor is a dancing act. If you're familiar with him, you are pretty hip to that. But I know every time I watched Eric Taylor, and of course I'm from the Northwest, where it was just sort of exotic to be 9 o'clock at night and to be warm, and like in just a t-shirt. So exotic heat. But there was one whenever Eric Taylor was playing, there was one person I would always see down at the stage in the front row, as close as he could get, and that was my friend Matt Fockler, also an Eric Taylor fan. So I thought I'd play this Eric Taylor song. There's a fire on the mesa, and I'm an innocent man. I'm just burning holes in the sand, burning my back roads in a two-wheel run. Gonna burn them again before I'm done. We used to burn like Atlanta burning like the lonesome in a young girl's eyes. Hey, where's the fire? Hey, what's the matter? We got two fires burning, burning one at a time. There's a fire down on Scott Street in the pouring rain. Down on the corner there's an 8-ball game. He's burning his fingers, man, burning his toes. Somebody got burned, man, and down he goes. We used to burn like Atlanta, burning like the lonesome in a young girl's eyes. Hey, where's the fire? Hey, what's the matter? Two fires burning, burning one at a time. There's a fire in this hotel, it's burning itself out. Only flames left are coming out of my mouth. One flame is red, babe, one flame is blue. Somebody get a fire and get a fire into this room, 'cause we used to burn like Atlanta. We used to burn like the lonesome in a young girl's eyes. Hey, where's the fire? Hey, what's the matter? Two fires burning, burning one at a time. Used to burn. Welcome everybody to Robert Sarazin Blake from the kitchen table. For those of you in the know, you know, and for those of you at the first time, well, it's time you learned, and we welcome you very warmly to the kitchen table. And at this point, it is time for the third song check-in. That's right, time for us to check in with you, all of you out there in comment land and Etherville. We want to know what's going on with you, but before we get to those comments from you, I gotta let you know the answer to the trivia question. The trivia question was, of course, we know that the stars at night in Texas are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas. But what about the prairie sky? Well, did anybody answer it, David?
I don't see any answers in the comments, Robert.
We don't have as many listeners from Texas as perhaps we could use. The prairie sky is wide and high, deep in the heart of Texas. Thought I would focus in on that one because it is coming in to wedding season. And maybe some of you know, maybe some of you don't know that David and I have a band called the High, Wide, and Handsome Band, ready to play your wedding, your child's wedding, your grandchild's wedding, your neighbor's wedding. We are available to play weddings. You're thinking, why would a wedding want this folk singer? I just got to tell you, trust me, we do a great wedding show. And that cannot be put out on public radio. We can't talk like that on the public radio, which is why we edit this 2-hour show into a 1-hour podcast. And it's not available yet, but I'm telling you, I talk about it every week. It's about to be happening. You can listen to the podcast on the website, but they're not yet in your podcast feed, but I think they will be soon. David, can you let me know anything from comment land?
I like building the anticipation about the podcast.
People are just,
you know,
people are really feeling it.
The buzz is strong. Well, I think first and foremost, it's important to point out that Ronan Leonard said, "Yo, yo,
yes.
Yo ho ho," stayed up just to say, "Hey" from Ireland.
Ronan is the man who introduced me to Hank, who wrote the song that we play at the end of every show. So it's a small world after all. Ronan, thank you for tuning in. Cannot wait to meet again.
Now, Robert, I'm a little bit sheepish to bring up the next
boy.
set of comments here. They may or may not be related. John Elliott says, "Classy outfit today, Robert."
Thank you, John.
Now, I'd agree, classy outfit. But it's also important to note, as Clay Fried has announced, that your collar needs tuning.
You know, you said that, and immediately I thought, oh man, the collar. I didn't check the collar. We have a policy in this band, which is collars out. And, John runs his show a little different way. I've seen John run collar in, collar out. I've seen all kinds of operations with that man. But over here at the kitchen table at RSB Enterprises, we are a collar out operation. Running with a bright T-shirt. I don't know, maybe people for talking clothing. I wasn't sure about it, and I got a thermal underwear under that. So there's a lot going on here we wouldn't, if we ever a photo shoot, it'd be a different operation. But love to talk about clothing in the comments, and putting the earpiece in for no reason whatsoever, just because I'm getting myself sorted.
The only other rule aside from collars out is respect the hanging clothes.
We must respect the hanging clothes.
We're getting a lot of positive feedback about the music this evening. Kimberly loved the first one. J.E. says that Eric Taylor's song was great. What's it called?
Two Fires.
Two Fires. And, of course, the kitchen table irregulars are here from a wide variety of places, including John Longcore from Albany, New York. We have the Guelph, Ontario crew, as always. And Terry Borneman, taking a trick that the Borneman clan has used before, calling in from a different place than we normally see them calling in for.
I'm wondering how far they made it. They took off like a couple of kids just getting on the car and going to see the world. How far have the Bornemans make it?
Sunny Vale, Arizona, just southeast of Tucson.
That's a long ways. Sure
is.
Yeah,
Sounds a lot warmer than it is here.
Yeah, it's not warm here.
You would not need your thermal layers in Vale, Arizona. And there's a lot. It's a happening comment section today. Okay. I gotta say. But before we go too far, important to point out that if you want to join into the fun that we have not only on Sundays but all throughout the week, you can do that by joining the Kitchen Table Irregulars Facebook group, where we spend our time when we're not at the kitchen table.
And that's also where we find out about the drink of the week, so we can all be, if we can't be in the same room, we can be on the same flight. Glad to have you with us. Please do find your way to the digital tip jar. That's the way we keep our operations operating, and we look forward to sending a big bag of digital tips over to South Dakota when the show is done. You'll find the comments, or you'll find the links at the top. You'll find the links somewhere. You'll find the links. I know you will. And there's some sort of icon right around here of a tip jar. And if you hit the link Streamlab, you can actually watch your digital money go into the digital tip jar. How about that? What I want to talk to you about now is more money. Robert, you just asked for money and you're going to talk about money again? Yes, I am. Because it's a new world, and no longer am I able to sell records the way I used to. I used to sell records that paid for the cost of making the records. Now, the way that I pay for the cost of making the records is reaching out to the community, and I have a Kickstarter going, and we're going to run the video on that, so I guess I don't need to run the lip anymore than say thank you very much for considering supporting the Kickstarter. And we're going to roll right from that into a clip from our friend Karen Kunkel, because the sun did come out today, and we thought, who better to have dropped by the kitchen table than the ray of sunshine that is Karen Kunkel.
Oh my goodness. Okay, we'll put it to a vote. Vote to the people. Okay. Original song that's called Wild Bells Born to Be Free, or Bridge Over Troubled Water, which I think is still too high for everyone. Or but it's really pretty. We could all just give it our best shot, meaning you should sing along. Or Lean on Me. And if you're not singing along to that, we're just gonna, where you are. You just are. Okay, you have your choice of two sing-alongs. One would be Lean on Me, or the other one would be Bridge Over Troubled Water. Or we can do another original. that's pretty wild.
How are
and
we going to
fun.
vote? How are we going to vote? That's
Oh,
one thing we
okay.
haven't established
Oh,
yet.
thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a little loopy today.
Yeah.
I blame like a pinched nerve in my neck. But
I think we'll do a plausometer, but I do want to let everybody know that your vote will be tallied a second time by the Cyber Ninjas. So the
Okay.
Cyber Ninjas are going to have the
Oh,
last
oh,
say on this. They
Thank you,
they're
thank
kind
you.
of they lost their venue in Arizona, so they have time to actually monitor the voting here at the kitchen table. And with a name like that, it's very trustworthy. If you don't know what I'm talking about, wow. You can talk to Ellie and Amanda over there. Ellie's been hearing about the Cyber Ninjas on the television news. But let's just do a plausometer for Lean On Me. A plausometer for Bridge Over Troubled Water. Oh, and a plausometer for another brilliant original from our friend Karen Kunkel. I think the people have spoken, and the Cyber Ninjas actually are completely illegitimate, and we're not going to take their tally, which means that, Karen, you are the captain of the ship, and lead us into the fray.
Great. Yes. Here we go. I knew you was an angel the first time that I saw you. You walking down the main street like an oak tree gone wild. Sweet low-key child, I saw you whistling so free. A sunflower galloping, I saw you dancing with your hands in your pockets and the wind in your hair. Whistling and swinging like you hadn't a care. Eyes on the horizon, heart of a dream. And I knew who you are. It's a feeling that lands inside my belly. It's a feeling lifting up my heart. It's a feeling moving through me. A sunbeam through the apple leaves. There is no poetry to name you, no words of the tongue. I can only taste you. I can only dance you. I can only feel you. In my flesh is where I can only name you. I feel you in my body like a Holy Ghost. Oh, taught that in a swan becoming man, like the snake. Oh, you're beginning again. Oh, I knew as soon as I saw you that you were someone like me. I knew as soon as I saw you that you were born to be free. I knew as soon as I saw you that I would love you forever. I knew as soon as I saw you, you're made of the wind and the weather. Everywhere like moss, a vessel untethered, wandering, not lost. You're someone I treasure and someone I trust. To do the right thing, 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 and to do what you want for the reasons you like, to know yourself and to follow the light, to follow a road, to follow your star, to do what's right, though it is hard, and you follow a code, and now you draw a card. Oh, what's the card say? Tell us what the card says. What's the card say? What's the card say? You're a fool, you're a fool, you're a fool, I'm a fool, you're a fool, I'm a fool, you're a fool, I'm a fool. And I know the jester's coming when you shake your bells. I can hear the jester coming when you shake your bells. I can hear the jester's you shake your fist. And I heard you ringing when I saw you that day. A wildflower in blue jeans, a walking your way. Everybody's a wildflower. You are, you are, you are. You're a miracle. 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 Oh, baby, you're a miracle. You're a marigold. Oh, daisy, daffodil, dahlia, Christ chrysanthemum. You're a dandelion. Oh, I want to hear you roar. I want to hear you roar. Woo! Oh my God, you got to roar after, like every time that I scream, you have to scream, okay? I want to hear you roar. I want to hear you roar. Woo! I want to hear you roar. I want to hear you roar. Woo! I want to hear you roar. I want to hear you roar. Woo! One more time. Woo! And I heard you ringing when I saw you that day. A wildflower walking that way.
Thank you for clicking on this video. If this video is reaching you, it's because at some point in the last 25 years you have supported my music. Thank you very much. In the last 2 years I had to stop touring, but I didn't stop making music. I've released 3 singles and I'll be releasing a 4th single in March. I'll also be releasing a live record I'm very excited to get out to your ears. That'll come out in May. There was a time I would release records and then I would tour and I would sell these records at the shows and that would pay for the recording project. That time is over. Not just the touring, I do expect to tour again, but the physical copies of music is over. It's a streaming world, everybody gets the music through the telephone, but as you may have heard, there's not a lot of money that comes back from the telephone to the artists. The way artists make records now is we reach out to our community, tell our community what projects we're working on, and invite the community to be part of the process while the music's being made. I'm raising $5,000 to pay for these 4 singles and the live album. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, and I say thank you very much for listening this far, for considering. If 1,000 people pay $5, or 500 people pay $10, or 250 people pay $20, or 50 people pay $100, we'll get there. These songs will get out to the world. I'll get on to writing the next song. I released a song called Ukrainian Phone Call. If you missed the news this week, if you missed the news, July 25, 19, there was a phone call. I released a song called Margin of Millions. Everybody knew he was lying, even those who thought it was God. I released a song called Not Me, Us, Born to Win. I'll be releasing a song called My Town, Your Town. My town is like your town. It's kind of like a lot of other towns. No one's hanging around downtown anymore. In May, I'll release this live record called One Summer Night. Thanks for your consideration. Thank you for your support. Thank you for listening to me here and now, and I hope we get a chance to be in the same room together making music again.
The lady in the bay.
Well, that was a wild carnival ride now, wasn't it? That's Karen Conkle. Guess who dropped by the kitchen table? Well, it was Karen Conkle with the blast from last summer, and I think we'll get Karen Conkle back at the kitchen table this summer. We will start being with a live outdoor audience this summer, that's right. Next week is our last show of the season, and that'll be March 13th, our last show of this season. We started, our very first live stream was March 14, 2020. Woo! Thanks for being along on the ride with us. Speaking of being on a ride, my friend Matt Fockler, if I have the story right, got into a canoe somewhere around his home in South Dakota, and he went canoeing down the Missouri and stopped at one point and built a house in Missouri. I think that's the way it goes. I'm not exactly sure. He'll have to fill us in. He was going to make it all the way to the Mississippi, but what can you say? When you stop in a certain town in Missouri, you might just stay. Nonetheless, we're singing about the Mississippi. Well, I went swimming in the mighty Mississippi down in Arkansas. My baby went down to the river bank. She took her clothes off. I took mine off too, and I jumped right in. Swam in the water brown. We went swimming in the mighty Mississippi. Was nobody else around. Well, I went swimming in the mighty Mississippi down in New Orleans. The water there was so brackish brown. You get out, you do not feel clean. But there's nothing like sitting there and watch that old muddy river roll in the land of the Creole Belle where the crawfish got sold. Well, now I went swimming in many ha-ha falls. That's where the river begins. The water there is so icy cold, only went into my shins. It was a real hot day, I was sweating away. Really cooled me down. 6-pack of beer, my sweetheart dear, a little paradise we found. David. Swimming in the mighty Mississippi right after I got laid on the Illinois side at sunset time. Good prince, great way to end the day. It was a real good time. Fish were jumping, the birds were singing. I was feeling fine. I went swimming in the mighty Mississippi before I crossed that old state line. Now, if you ever go traveling in America's heartland, I'll tell you what you ought to do. Down to the banks of the mighty Mississippi. You should go swimming too. You'll have a real good time, it won't cost a dime. Any old state you choose. Illinois, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Iowa too. I said Kentucky, Tennessee, Wisconsin, Mississippi, and Minnesota too. All right, we're going to do one more song, and then the great Matt Fockler will be joining us all the way from South Dakota, and he'll be able to correct you and correct any of the lies I may have spun in the introduction here. But I think I got it pretty close to the mark, that he lives somewhere between South Dakota and South Padre Island, somewhere at various times of year and times of day and times of state of mind. Well, it was bound to happen that it came to time when it got revealed to Matt that I've actually had learned one of his songs, and I'm gonna do one of his songs here. It's gonna hopefully not embarrass me too much here right before the songwriter himself comes on, but I saw that that's what Johnny Cash does on the Johnny Cash Show. He plays the song of his guests before they come on. I kind of wrangled this one a little bit, so I hope Matt forgives me for that. On my wall, I got a picture of Neil Young. Look at it throughout the day. Uh-oh, see, Matt's on the end of the line and I got all nervous. Let's try it again. On my wall, I got a picture of Neil Young. Look at it throughout the day. Uh-oh. Thank you, David, for laughing. Matt, let's see what I got Matt on the screen there and it's throwing me off. Yeah. All right, we'll just start it out again. And on my wall, I got a picture of Bob Dylan. Hell, I ripped it out of a rolling stone, hung it on the wall near the ceiling. Bob, it must be a job to sing the world the truth. 'Cause times are a-changing and the devil's on the loose. And on my wall, I got a picture of Tom Waits singing into an old soup can, scraping the bottom of the plate. With his crooked hunched voice and his hunched over style. Dreaming of Waits makes me dream with a great big smile. Dream, dream, dream your life away. Dream about the pictures, the places, and the way to your soul. And on my wall, I got a picture of Neil Young. I look at it throughout the day to remind me of what I'm working on. I'll be the first to tell you, dreams don't always come true. They come true more often when you dream the whole day through. Dream, dream, dream your life away. Dream about the pictures and the places and the way to your soul. On my wall, I got a picture of Willie Dixon. Hell, I never could play the blues, but in my dreams he's a good addition. Got me a picture of a girl, but that dream never came true. You must dream more than me, 'cause she's lying next to you. Dream, dream, dream your life away. Dream about the pictures and the places and the way to your soul. I heard this song sung by Matt Fockler down there at the Kerrville Folk Festival. I said, Matt, that's a very fine song. Would you write down the words for me? He wrote down the words for me, and I usually do a pretty good job of remembering them, but I got a little nervous tonight and I fumbled them a little bit, so that's why you got to get the Matt Fockler version of this song, and that may be on his new record, I don't know. It was on a record called Gypsy Maintenance, and I got to reference it from that a long time ago, the Gypsy Maintenance record. I'm getting older, you're getting older, everybody gets older at the same rate, you know, 1 minute at a time, 1 day at a time, but age is not a number, it's a feeling, and I know that I'm I know that I'm getting old because I worry about young people, you know, and that's a phase. And you don't, when you're young, you don't worry about the young. You get old, you start worrying about the young people. And I worry about how will children discover music, because the way I discovered music was so precious to me, so important to me, you know. I remember I was 6 or 7 years old, post-divorce. I'm in the basement of my mother's house, and there's a cardboard box full of LPs, and I get a flip through the LPs, and I come across the most amazing album cover you've ever seen in your life. There's no album cover out there that calls to the child's eye, but that encourages the child's mind to go and grow. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. There's those 4 fluorescent marching band outfits, but then there's all those people surrounding them. Makes the child wonder what's going on out there. There's a light beyond the woods, Mary Margaret. And that's why, after I learned this song of Matt's, I had to add a verse. Now, I have not run this by Matt before right now, and I figured there's no way to really ask somebody if you can do this. You just do it, and you hope that they still continue to be the guest on the show, you know. But the thing of it is before I had Nighthawks at the diner, before I had On the Beach, before I had Time Out of the Mind, before I had Blonde on Blonde, before I had Everyone Knows This Is Nowhere, I had Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. So on my wall, I got a picture of John Lennon sitting naked on a bed with a newspaper in his hand. He might be riding loose, seeing the sky through his tangled brown hair. He might be right, and you got to free John Sinclair. To dream your life away. Dream about the pictures and the places and the way to soul. So if you got a dream, hang it up on the wall. Look at it throughout the day so that you can recall the things that make you who you are, things that make you want to live. Don't ever let anybody take away all you gotta give. Dream, dream. Dream, dream. Your life away. Dream, dream. Your life away. And now is my absolute pleasure to welcome to the kitchen table for the first time. Welcome, my friend, everybody, Matt Fockler. Matt, how are you?
I'm great. Man, that's so good to hear.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
still being on the show after I've made a few adjustments there, some intended and others improvised. When I always sing the first verse, right, unless you're in the room, apparently.
Well, I got to tell you how much or how good that makes me feel when I see you and Jonathan Bird and Aeneas Mitchell and different people screw up, because it just makes me that much more comfortable because I do it all the time. Thank you.
What's going on in South Dakota?
Snow.
Really?
We
Yeah.
finally got some snow.
Okay, good. Yeah. And when I said at one point you took a canoe down the Missouri River and then stopped to take a sandwich break and built a house, is that accurate?
Pretty close.
Yeah, yeah. But then you canoed back up, which is harder, you know,
Well,
to
it's
South Dakota.
yeah. I learned a lot of respect to Lewis and lost us in court.
Yeah.
That is a whole nother animal going up it than it is going down it.
Yeah.
We did 614 miles.
Wow.
Me and Emmett Stahlheim
Wow.
and my dog. Found a little town of population of 29 people. They had a little festival, and it was just so personal, and there were so many connections there with Steve Gillette and Jack Williams and a bunch of Curverts that spent the 70s there.
Okay.
We couldn't leave.
Yeah.
Got a house on the river and started a listening room there, the Lupus General Store. I walked up off the riverbank and found that old general store, and it just, I couldn't leave.
I love it.
It was way too cool to not try to promote some music there.
So were you in Lupus before you went to Kerrville?
No,
No. Okay.
I'd been going to Kerrville before that.
Yeah. And South Padre Island. I introduce you as a man who lives in two southern places, South Dakota and South Padre Island.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they didn't call it East Dakota and West Dakota, because there's nothing south about South Dakota. And there's, East Dakota and West Dakota are two completely different animals.
Right.
You can recognize a West River boy way quicker than you can us East River guys.
Yeah.
Ranch people and farming people,
Right.
two different things.
I love it. This is fun for us on the coast to understand that. Now you say that, and I can imagine it. I feel like I've always known that, but I didn't always know that. And even driving at the odd time, you got to talk to Matt Fockler to figure that out. It should be East and West Dakota.
Well, even with the natives, that peace treaty we signed gave them everything from the east bank of the Missouri River west, which is significant and why they'll never get that back, because Kevin Costner has his vacation home there, and I doubt he'd ever give that up to the Lakota to control. But
We could ask him anyways.
maybe.
Well, you're coming at us. Your associate there, James, has helped us out with the technical end, so we want to say thank you to James. And we're so excited to hear some of your songs and tell us about the new record you've put out. And why don't you just launch into a song or two, and if I need to say something, I'll wave, but otherwise we just let the audience hear you without me chit-chatting too much. Believe me,
Sure.
I'll be back before too long.
Well, I do love the chit-chat. That's my favorite part, is the relationship,
Absolutely.
being able to get to know people and stuff is better than songs to me. My record is a long time. Without Michael Shea, it would have never happened. He cornered me and made me come to his house, basically. With my traveling from South Dakota to South Padre Island, I would record 2 songs on my way to Padre. And then when I left Padre, I recorded 2 on my way back to South Dakota, and then I did 2 on the way back again. So it was a kind of a seasonal thing.
Yeah.
I was a little bit adamant from doing that record you talked about, that I tried to, I believe, if I'm not, it's 12 years ago, off and on, a little more, a little less on some of the songs, but I like one takes. I like mistakes in music. That's why I got so much enjoyment out of your mistake. That's what Raybo got that pounded into me. That's what makes music real, is the mistakes. When you've made the 20th take, it's not real anymore. You've made it perfect, and it's produced so well that it's like Tommy Emmanuel. I'd go anywhere to hear him live, but his recordings I don't do much at all for me. It just that mistakes and those pieces that aren't perfect is what makes it real.
Sometimes I find
anyhow.
a record of that nature I need to take from CD to cassette and then drive around in an old Ford truck listening to it on cassette, and it's like, oh, I love it,
Yeah, no, it's no different than even, I think, all the years I drove my old 60s Internationals is why writing was a lot easier to me than it is now, because I'm in a Toyota, and when I get back in my truck again, the interiors, they're metal and steel, and singing in that old truck, it bounces around, and there's a realness to that, and if you want some air condition, it's rolling the window down with a manual. You have to roll it down yourself, and that realness of it creates songwriting versus an electric window and having a, how did Ray always put it, you know, that thermostat, being able to control every, you know, that perfect 72 degrees all the time. Where them old trucks, they're very manual in every way, and it creates a song. Yeah,
I love it.
The manual side of it. I'm gonna.
So before you
this.
jump in, see, I knew I would talk too much. I want to know if the first song you're going to play is a driving south song or a driving north.
Neither one.
Okay.
I always start with the same song, and it's a Fosco Jones tune. I can't help but
All right.
start with. I got to start with someone else's songs, because the only reason that mine have went anywhere is because other people have covered them. So I feel obligated to always start with somebody else's stuff.
Beautiful.
And Fosco don't play anymore, so I feel even more obligated to keep his stuff alive.
Love it.
And
Love it.
it's called Old School Friends. My old school friends are scattered, I thought they would stick together. I was always on the outside looking in. My friends misunderstood me, I was kinda weird, and in a way, uninvited, I was trying to fit in. My friends was on the sidelines and our team was doing well. The cheerleaders flashed, the colors black and gold. Hell, what an awkward time it was. I caught my first nicotine buzz underneath the bleachers with the bad kids, my friends. Hell, I'm driving by the place we used to hang out, my friends. My friends are wearing suits now. My friends now dressed in suits, some dead or stuck behind the counter of the fast food going nowhere west of Winston. My friends got my friends now dressed in suits, some dead or stuck behind the counter. The fast food going nowhere west of Winston. My friends got jobs and married, some bought houses in the suburbs, dog, a cat, fenced in yard, and a couple of kids. My friends at church on Sunday and then back to work on Monday, fighting traffic every morning, 8 a.m. Well, it's funny how the time goes by faster as the time goes by. I said goodbye before I got the chance to know my friends. Hell, it's old familiar faces and names, my friends. And I'm driving by the place that we used to hang out, my friends. My friends are getting older, bald and gray, not as pretty as the high school yearbook pictures taken of them. My friends, their little memories help make up my mind to leave, and the reasons that I'm coming back again. And should my old acquaintances be forgotten and never brought to mind, hell, I hope that I see you all someday, somewhere further on down the line. Tell my friends on graduation day we didn't have that much to say. We didn't know each other much at all. Well, I didn't think and I didn't care. In a hurry to get away from there, I left before I got the chance to know my friends. And it's old familiar faces and names, my friends. Hell, I wonder what you're doing these days, my friends. Hell, I'm driving by the place that we used to hang out, my friends.
Yeah, Fosco Jones coming through
Yes,
yourself there. Woo! Hey, my associate David wants to talk to your associate James about a minor adjustment.
I'll do it in the back.
Sure.
Oh, they're doing it in the background. Isn't that something? We're a couple lucky guys to have these associates.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't do it without him.
Yeah, absolutely. No show without David Pender Lofgren or James from South Dakota. Keep them coming, Matt. Keep it coming.
Great. She liked to dance. Hell, she teared up, I've seen. I'd like to have her. Hell, I did once in my dreams. Then she got faster. Along the draw as I stood still. Now she's got a mansion on the hill. Well, she had a big truck and big tires too. She never had bad luck. Hell, pretty people never do. Whenever she'd get stuck, a BA way through. Hell, when it goes down, it's up to you. Hey, well, I ramble and I ride across this countryside, see things and folks. Sometimes I keep going. Hey, well, I'll stop for a while if I meet someone who's walked a mile, catch a ride the direction they're going. A Tweedledee, Tweedledum, get together and have some fun. Don't be scared of something that you ain't used to seeing. Well, close your eyes and believe in the things that you can't see, 'cause that's the direction that we need to be going. Yeah, when it's companions and friends, new beginnings and things that have been lingering for ages. Wear the sandals or the boots, but take a good look at your roots and see if you could use your own two hands for something. And it's girls and love, all of the above. Come push and shove, you best find your humanity. Hell, it's black and white to me. You best be all that you can be. Stand as tall as you can stand and stall the falling. She liked to dance. Hell, she teared up, I've seen. I'd like to have her. Hell, I did once in my dreams, and she got faster. Along the draw as I stood still. Now she's got a mansion on the hill. She's got a mansion on the hill.
Woo, sounded so good. I hate to cut in. I want to keep them coming. But the message to James is the signals is a little hot. So send us a little less signal. Is that right, David?
Yep.
Yeah, it's distorting a little bit. And it just kind of makes it sound like, a little cooler than it would be otherwise. But we're going to try to get what you really are, because we know that's what you're after.
Great. Thank you very much.
Just sounded so good, man. I want to get out of the way. Keep them coming, man. Sounded so
All right.
good.
I'm gonna My Bayard is in open tuning, or I'd play this song in that. I had a stretch of years that I was frustrated, couldn't write, nothing, blocked. And Bayard, after a Kerrville I didn't make it to because of certain reasons, he delivered a guitar to me, a Bayard guitar, and I was just really overwhelmed and had it for a year and still hadn't wrote anything on it. And he had made a matching set. One of them was for Rachel Reese, as we're both from South Dakota. Hers was full of bling, just beautiful wheat and inlays all through the neck. And since he knows me so well, he made mine my favorite color, dull. And I love this thing, and I just, for the longest time having it and not being able to write anything on it, I was getting pretty frustrated. So I did this song in Austin. If I was gonna write a song, I wouldn't even write it down. I'd just play it all day long, just like you did, just like when you was a kid. You didn't want to go back home. I've got a broken string, I got a new guitar, I'm in Austin again. I've got a broken heart, a lot of days go dark, but I see light again. And if I needed a hook, I wouldn't have far to look. I move slow as I go. I try to pay attention, I try to change direction if I see the need to do so. And I've got some old friends that I roll with, and I'll go and talk to them. I've got elders, some older fellers, when I've got questions need answering. And here comes the chorus, and just like the forest, you're gonna roam until you find the kind of song that'll turn your engines with all the harmonies behind. And I've got friends with strings, friends with voices that ring like angels in the sky. And I know drunks on the street who live more free than either you or I. I never could write a bridge, that's just the way it is. There's plenty that I don't know, and I like to end a song with just what's going on and sing with all my soul. So if I was gonna write a song, I wouldn't even write it down, I'd just play it all day long. This is the one that Robert covered. It's one of my first songs. Yeah, well, on my refrigerator, I got a picture of Neil Young. Well, I keep it there to remind me of the things I'm working on. And I'll be the first to tell you, dreams don't always come true. Hell, but they come true more often when you dream your whole day through. So dream, 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 dream your days away. Dream about the pictures and the places and a way to your soul. And on my refrigerator I got a picture of Bob Dylan. Ella ripped it out of a Rolling Stone and stuck it to my ceiling. Hell, I keep it there to remind me of the dreams I'm a-working on. Sometimes the things that go as slow as a rolling stone. Hell, Bob, it must be a job, hell, to teach the world the truth. 'Cause the times they are changing and the devil's on the loose. So dream, 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 dream your days away. Dream about the pictures and the places and a way to your soul. And on my wall, well, I got a picture of Willie Dixon. Ellen never could play the blues, but in my dreams he's a good addition. And I got me a picture of a girl, well, but that dream never came true. Well, you must dream more than me, 'cause she's lying next to you. So dream, 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 dream your days away. Dream about the pictures and the places and a way to your soul. And on my wall, well, I got a picture of Tom Waits. He's singing into an old soup can, scraping the bottom of the plate with his rusty old voice and his hunkered down crooked little style. Well, looking at his picture makes me dream with a great big smile. So dream, 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 dream your days away. Well, dream about the pictures and the places and a way to your soul. Well, I wrote this here song so I could tell of all the pictures I've had up on my walls. Throughout the years, they were my teachers. I've had pictures of oceans, mountains, and cars. But now I've climbed and swam and drove as far as here. So if you got a dream, well, go and stick it to the wall. Cover your wall up with pictures so all through the day you will recall all the things that make you who you are and the things that make you live. Hell, don't let anyone take away all you got to give. Just dream, dream, dream. Dream your days away. Dream about the pictures and the places and a way to your soul. Just dream, dream, dream. Dream your days away. Dream about the pictures and the places and a way to your soul. Well, thank you, Robert. I'm going to do another cover. Once again, a good friend of mine who's passed away. And I was in Houston, Texas, with this K.R. Woods was his name. And he said, tomorrow night you have to go to a place called Anderson Fair. You have got to go there. There's a guy playing named Steve Fromholtz. And I met Eric Taylor that night, and I followed him all across the state for like 7 or 8 shows. I was never able to... I attempted a bunch of times to write a song about Eric. And I finally decided to just cover one of his songs. There's a fire out on the mesa, and I'm an innocent man. Yeah, well, I'm sitting here burning holes in the sand. Well, I'm burning my back wheels on a 2-wheel run. I'm gonna burn them again, hell, when I'm done. Used to burn, hell, like Atlanta. I used to burn like the lonesome in a young girl's eyes. Where's the fire? Hey, what's the matter? There's 2 fires burning, burn them one at a time. There's a fire down on Scott Street in the pouring rain. Down on the corner, it's an 8-ball game. He's burning his fingers, man, and he's burning his clothes. Somebody burned him, and down he goes. He used to burn, hell, like Atlanta. He used to burn like the lonesome in a young girl's eyes. Where's the fire? Hey, what's the matter? There's 2 fires burning, burn them one at a time. There's a fire at this hotel, burning itself out. Hell, the only thing left burning here is coming out of my mouth. Hell, one flame's red, baby, one flame's blue. Someone get a fire, man, get a fire into this room. Used to burn, hell, like Atlanta. I used to burn like the lonesome in a young girl's eyes. Where's the fire? Hey, what's the matter? There's 2 fires burning, burn them one at a time.
Yes.
Thank you.
Do you remember all those? It seemed as though Eric played Kerrville every year that I was there, which was roughly the years of 05 to 2010. Maybe it was a little bit later than that. But Dallas liked Eric, and say what anyone will about Dallas, the fact that she liked Eric made me like her more.
Yeah, he was very intimidating until you kind of got to know him, or if he liked you, I guess. Boy, it just I don't know when that flipped from being scared to death of being around him to just loving him.
Yeah.
But wow, what a powerful songwriter. It was Ed Florida that got me somewhat close to him. It was all because of Ed.
And did you ever see Eric anywhere? Well, you saw him all across Texas. Did you ever see him outside of Texas?
Yeah, I promoted 2 shows for him here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Now that's a story.
Both of them were sold out.
Well done, sir.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was great. But
He had such a trance-like. He created a trance. He brought me in as a listener into a trance, whereas like the concert would be over and I'd be like, "What just happened? I don't even know. Did the time pass?" It was magic to be within his
yeah,
spell.
just a prime example of a storyteller. The stuff, him and Steve Fromholtz for me was, I went to the shows to hear what was between the songs. More than the songs. I could put their records in any time, but man, that
Yeah.
stuff between. But sucks he's gone.
It is. We're very lucky to have been in the room with him. I remember very clearly that when he played Kerrville, seeing you right down there, always the 2 of us were down checking him out. And I don't know where all of our friends were, but we were like, no matter what's happening, I'm going to make it to that Eric Taylor set.
Yeah.
What are we doing, man? We got just kind of lost in the moment here at the kitchen table and just enjoying it. If you wouldn't mind, would you do one more and then we'll go back and forth and then it'll be time to stump the band. But just enjoying hearing you sing so much. I'm under your spell at the moment.
Okay. I used to babysit a young girl down on South Padre Island named Dorothy. And I wrote a song about her. She's all grown up now. She's by no means a little girl. Lay your head down, Dorothy. Lay your head down low. You'll be waking up early in the morning and off to school you'll go. Mom and Dad are on their knees and praying for you with all their soul. So lay your head down, Dorothy, lay it low. Lullabies, laughing lullabies, close your eyes, lullabies in your dreams, lullabies, lullabies, laughing lullabies, close your eyes, lullabies in your dreams, lullabies. Get down next to your bed, down on your knees. Close your eyes and fold your hands and pray for sweet dreams. Jesus, he loved you and he lives inside of you. So close your eyes, sweet dreams, lullabies, lullabies. Laughing lullabies, close your eyes, lullabies in your dreams, lullabies, lullabies. Laughing lullabies, close your eyes, lullabies in your dreams, lullabies. Did you know that there's angels hanging out in your room? And when you close your eyes, they fold their wings out over you. Covered up with love and heaven touching you. So close your eyes, sweet dreams, lullabies, lullabies, laughing lullabies. Close your eyes, lullabies in your dreams, lullabies, lullabies, laughing lullabies. Close your eyes, lullabies in your dreams, lullabies.
Yeah. Is that on the new record?
Yes, it is.
Now, is that a driving south or a driving north?
I don't even, that too many years ago to remember any of that.
So the record's out now. How long have you been working on this record? Is that what you said earlier? Is it 12 years of working on the
I
record?
say 12 would be my best guess, yeah.
I call that
It
perseverance.
got stuck, it was finished pretty early on, and I got lucky, back way that many years ago, and it being in Austin with Michael so much, my guests that were on it just happened to be in town. I didn't need to be there.
Yeah.
Michael just wrangled them in, so
Right.
that was great.
Well, that song of yours reminds me of a song of mine on the subject of kids. I'm gonna play one. You'll play one, and then I think it'll buy you around time to stump the band somewhere after that. It's an old song, a song I would have been playing back when I first met you, and one I probably haven't played very often since then, so we'll see how it goes. Off of my record called A Crowd of Drunken Lovers, released in 00, I think. 01. Curly hair, blue eyes, purple jacket, wild smile. She's a girl I see every once in a while. Shy in the morning, keeps out of sight, hates to miss a party, wants to go to sleep at night. I think that being shy is just part of her game, although she wouldn't show it. She probably knows your name, and it would make you so happy just to hear her say it. But when you say hello, she acts as though she didn't hear it. And with a mother who's a student and a dad who couldn't stay, well, she refused to be truant. Will she learn to run away? No one knows what will happen to Isadora. She's a bouncing girl who loves to twirl. She runs around laughing almost most of the time, and although she rarely eats all of her meal, she's grabbing for milk. It seems like most of the time. And with an uncle in Olympia and a grandfather who fights fires, will she collect Elvis memorabilia or buy a franchise of Fred Myers? No one knows. The future's wide open for Isadora. She likes to... Bouncing girl loves to twirl. She plays doctor with her friend Cinder, mechanic with her toys. She knows the words to the story she's about to be told, but it's only natural. Isadora's 3 years old, and with a mother who's a dancer and a dad who may as well be in the can. Will she be a soccer superstar or work in organic fruit juice stand? No one knows, except maybe Isadora. Maybe some image that has flashed in her eyes will grow into a passion that she cannot deny. Some will call it a calling, some will call it a gift. Some will say it's her upbringing or how her parents' hormones mixed. But it doesn't matter what they say, Isadora's gonna do it anyway. I'm curious to see what she happens to do Will she write plays about Achilles or cure the common flu? And all I know is I love her laugh. You can't go wrong with a laugh like that. And everyone wishes all, and of course I wish all. Yes, of course I wish all the best for Isadora. And with a mother gives her all she can, and a grandmother who gives her toys, will she always need a man? Will she be afraid of boys? All I know is I love her laugh. You can't go wrong with a laugh like that. Everyone wishes all, and of course I wish all. Yes, of course I wish all the best for Isadora.
Very nice.
It came to me at some point that I think I wrote that one in the van and had to pull over at the side of the road and scribble it down. There are things that happen when you're inside that little box rolling down the highway. And at this point, we pass the microphone over to my associate, David Pender-Lofgren. He's going to ask you a few questions.
Sure.
Hey, Matt.
Hey.
I'm curious what's on your neck. What's the necklace?
I got one of my best friends did a documentary called Riding with Ghosts. He's a Lakota from South Dakota. Grew up in Rapid City with the warlords. Shot another Indian and did 18 years in the state penitentiary. And when he come out, he made his gainful employment on canvas. And he did this documentary on suicide on the reservations. And everybody who did a song on the documentary got a gift, one of these seed bead pennants. They're all a little bit different colored. Todd Bordeaux is another quite famous Lakota artist. I think ZZ Top has. I think they all have one of these too. He's done quite a few really unique. They're very, I don't know how well on camera you can see them, but they're very dimensional. And it's hard to get that much dimension with seed beads like that, but they're beautiful. It won first place all over the world. Houston Film Festival, it got first place. It's really good film, but very difficult to watch.
And you have a song that was part of the film?
Yeah, the cover song, Riding with Ghosts. James wrote the song, and I put music to it and recorded it.
Whoa. Like wrote the poetry, and then you made it into a song? Or
Yeah.
is that something you've done before?
No. No, and I don't know that I'm terrible at co-writing. I have never, well, I've co-wrote, I guess, on accident. It's too much pressure for me. I just, sometimes it just kind of has to naturally work, it seems. Jonathan Bird pushes me quite a bit, you know. Like anything, you got to force yourself to do things sometimes, and stuff comes out of it. You just say you can't do stuff, and you can. But if you just make yourself do it, a lot of times some pretty neat stuff shows up. That song, I'm pretty proud of.
Incredible. So I have to say, you know, for me, hanging out with Robert as much as I do, you know, we've spent a bunch of time on the road, and every time that Kerrville comes up, not every time, many times when Kerrville comes up, your name comes up as well. And I, having never been to Kerrville, I have one lens through which I have seen this gathering, which is Robert's lens. I want to know, like, when you casually in conversation end up talking about Kerrville with someone, how do you describe it to the uninitiated?
Trust your ears and follow them. The best parts of Kerrville to me are what sticks in my head. I do a plug a festival I'm doing the last weekend of July this coming year, the Montrose Music Festival, montrosemusicfestival.com. I should be having Melissa Carper there this year. And that's a good example. It was 3 or 4, maybe 5 in the morning, and I had all I could handle, and I got into my tent and got completely comfortable, laid back, and almost fell asleep. And through all the different noises and sounds, I heard her voice, and I could not put all my clothes back on and find it. And I tracked it down to Motel Darlene's camp up by Crow's, or up on the other hill, and I couldn't even see her. It was dark, and I just sat there enamored and listened to her as much as I could. I don't know if I even went to bed that night because I followed her around and listened. And there was all kinds of situations like that there that you just, if you hear something that tickles your ear, you'd better follow it, because it's and that's the reason I started this festival, was that magic at Kerrville, not the main stage or the Threadgill stage or Camp Cuisine. It's the personal connections there, and the campground scene till morning and beyond. Even the swimming holes, just like the personal connections that I'll never forget. When I showed up there, I didn't know what folk music was. I had Red House Records was the only thing that I knew, and anything I could find through Red House. And I ended up camping across the street from Chuck Brodsky, and I was sitting in his camp, just the two of us, and I was just amazed that he was sitting there talking to me, and that hooked me. I went every year since, just because, whether it's him or Robert or Jonathan or Aeneas, they always took time to sit down and, whether just one-on-one, and share songs. You didn't have to be on a soapbox to do it.
Huh. Did you go the past couple of years?
I haven't. No. It's been, my boy is 6, so I think it's been maybe 7 or 8 years since I've went.
All right. Well, I'll have to make a pilgrimage one of these days. Thanks for answering my questions.
Yeah.
I'll turn you back over to Robert.
Loving it. Yeah, I tell some people went to college. I went to Kerrville, and I'd be safe to say I had more fun. I've been sorry, I hate to be too bold about it, but I learned a lot at Kerrville. What do you think? Should we? Yeah, let's do it. Let's be stumped. Let's open ourselves up, and if we have time after that, we'll do another one of our songs. And I did call up a very special stumper that is familiar with both of us. Now, Matt is new to this whole program here, so this is Stump the Band. We bring in a caller. The caller asks requests. The caller will ask 3 requests, and they can be songs that the caller thinks we know, songs the caller thinks we do not know, or songs that the caller does not know that we do not know. And we're bringing in a true to the bone Kervert, a man who I met at the Kerrville Folk Festival as well, who has also been at the kitchen table for no stranger to the kitchen table. Johan, are you on the line? All right, he may not be on the line. He's
You might have to hit *6.
He might have to hit *6, Johan, and he's coming in. I can feel him coming.
You hear me now?
Hey, there he is.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
We had Johan on the show about a year ago in the midst of the Texas blizzard freeze.
That's pretty bad. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. And we spoke with you shortly after. I spoke to you in the middle of it when we set up you being at the table, and then you spoke to us, and you were absolutely. I thought you were still in shock for that whole kitchen table performance because if I remember right, you had to abandon your dwelling and trudge through sub-zero temperatures to a friend's house that had a wood stove and gather indoors in the midst of a pandemic. Do I have that right?
That's the truth. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
But it was because I spent a while in the Park Service. I know that if you're going to do something dangerous, you tell everybody what trail you're doing.
Okay.
And so I posted on Facebook, "Hey, I have to walk 6 or 7 miles in this snow." So I made it though.
It was really difficult to watch from South Dakota because up here, the first thing we do is shut our water main off and drain our lines or let water drip. And I was watching everybody's water lines blow and bust and freeze and ceilings falling in. Up here, everybody, the first thing they do is eliminate that from happening. And I forget that down south, people, they don't even have their water lines underground.
You make it sound so easy.
Well,
Well, in a lot of these apartments, they have the water thing.
What?
They have them locked.
Oh, they have them locked at the
So,
apartment, right? So you couldn't even do it if
Yeah.
you wanted to.
Yeah, and then it was so packed full of snow that you couldn't even get, and ice that you couldn't even get to it,
Amazing.
Wow.
Amazing. So how's this winter been down there in Austin, Texas, Music City, USA? Wait,
That's going good. We're getting ready for
Music
stuff.
City or is Nashville Music City?
Austin's a live music capital of the world.
Live music capital of the world. Very good. So
Yeah.
you're doing pretty good. You're staying warm. You're eating tacos.
Eating tacos, staying warm,
Yeah.
drinking coffee,
And
listening to amazing songwriters do a online thing,
has dancing returned? Johan is not only a song man, he's also a dance man, a man I look up to very much with his dance floor skills. And is dancing
Oh, thanks. Yeah,
returned to
dancing's
Austin?
returned. Yeah, it sure has. There's people dancing again.
Okay.
I got COVID real bad about a month ago,
Oh, sorry to hear that.
and yeah, that was really bad. Because everyone was getting these mild versions, I thought I'll get a mild version.
I said, I'll go pick up a
I
mild
had
version.
Yeah, I was like, I know I'll get a mild version, and then I got some next level version, So
So sorry to hear that.
pretty bad.
You're on the up
But
now.
I survived.
How's your sense of smell?
Yeah. Oh, I got this garbage taste in my mouth for 2 weeks. I didn't lose my sense of smell, or I just smelled everything that was nasty.
That's
Pretty
a
horrible.
version that I'm sorry to hear happened to you or to any.
Yeah, I
of you.
really wanted. I was like, why can't I lose it? Why did I gain this horrible sense? Everything smells. And
Well, let's jump into
no
it.
matter what
Johan.
you ate, it just tastes nasty. Yeah.
Everything. Yeah. Let's jump into it. Let's move on to Stump the Band, and this is you.
Okay.
Sometimes our callers don't know us personally. You know us both personally. That adds an element of confusion, perhaps, more than clarity, but perhaps clarity. But you know the rules. 3 songs, then Matt and I look at each other and we see what we can do, and we're looking forward to what you request.
Well, I know how I could hit the both of you and get an instant song. That's easy. But I was thinking of somebody who I love a lot, who I think you guys could both honor, is Patty Griffin.
Ooh, good request. That's number 1. Any Patty Griffin. All right, request number 2 coming down the line.
And then, of course, I love that. When I first went to Kerrville, man, I heard Matt sing that on my wall. I got the pictures of Neil Young, and I'm like, oh, my God, it's legal. You can do that. You can write a song about your heroes. You can get away with that. And so I got real inspired by that song. And then I thought, I wonder what Tom Waits song Matt might know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, we're
Hello?
ready for request number 3, and then Matt and I are gonna look at each other. We're gonna sweat. We're gonna ask the research librarians in our brains to go back to the dusty files. Let's see what you got there, Johan. Number 3.
Okay, number 3. Oops. Okay, so this one is, when I think of Matt, I think of, he told me a story about when he was trying to learn guitar, this teacher was teaching him how to play some notes, and then eventually he couldn't focus, so he went home and learned Neil Young or something like that. And so to my brain, I always imagine Matt doing a Neil Young song, or I imagine Robert's take on a Neil Young song. So, one of y'all wants to give me it. Or maybe you guys could both do it together.
Those are three great requests. We're glad to hear you're safe. We think about you when we think about cold weather in Texas, and now we're going to think about you when we hear people getting bad versions of COVID. With the moral of that story is still be safe, everybody. We are still in a pandemic. Hey, outdoors is better than indoors. Let's move forward with the best margins we can. And glad you've recovered. And thank you for calling in.
Did I stump the band? Did
Well,
I give
no,
you
Matt and I
guys?
are going to talk to each other now. We're going to figure this out right in front of God and everyone else. I mean, we're naked before the world. And what do you think, Matt? Do you have any Patty Griffin?
Oh, it's so great to hear Johan's voice again.
I should have.
calling in.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, he's still in there. Yeah, Johan, do you want anything you want to say straightforward to Matt without me acting as interpreter?
I kind of enjoyed the interpreter. Like, I felt like we were kind of like... it's good to hear you, Matt. Man, those songs are like legendary in the folk world. Like in our little like it almost feels like people ask me where I learned music. I'm like, well, do you know Matt up at Camp Dakota and Robert down by the urinals? You know, like those are. You know,
all right.
It's
If
good
you
to hear
keep
it.
talking
Like,
about me
like,
being by the urinals, I think we're going to move right along, move the show right along here, and it was a gig. It was a gig, not a paid gig.
well, I mean, dude, people that have been to Kerrville know that was fun times, you know, down by the street, like
Well, yeah,
Octagon,
they weren't
or whatever they're called.
escapable anyhow. It didn't matter where you were.
Yeah. It's just a bit upwind.
Well, yeah,
downwind.
man, it's good to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Matt, what do you have a request by any of those artists up one of your sleeves there?
Yeah, I got one I can do.
All right, bring it on. Bring it on. I'll
Uh,
follow up with
I
something
was thinking
after
of
that.
Tom Waits first. I did try to cover. I can't even think of the name of the song now. 38. So Small Change got rained on by 38. I loved that song. I just never was able to cover it. But I'll do a Neil Young song. You gotta give me a second to pull the tune out of me. I think I'll pack it in and buy a pickup and take it down to L.A. Find a place to call my own and try to fix up. Start a brand new day. The woman I'm thinking of, she loved me all up, but I'm so down today. She's so fine, she's in my mind. I hear her calling. See the lonely boys out on the weekend, trying to make it pay. Can't relate to joy, he tries to speak and he can't begin to say. The woman I'm thinking of, she loved me all up, but I'm so down today. She's so fine, she's in my mind. I hear her calling. She got pictures on the wall, they made me look up from her big brass bed. Now I'm running down the road, just trying to stay up somewhere in her head.
Yes, very nice. Johan, I'm not going to do any of your requests because Matt did such a good job. And I love Patty Griffin living with ghosts. So you know, so you know. Oh, love it. Love that album so much. One of the best solo voice guitar records I've heard, no doubt about it. And of course, Waits is the master. That Waits is. And the third request was
Neil Young.
Neil Young, which was just done perfectly. However, there's been a lot of mention of John Bird, so I thought I'll do a little John Bird. Jonathan Bird, for those of you with a Google. There's a couple John Bird songs that I've learned that I've had a lot of fun playing over the years. And if it's late in the set, and the High, Wide, and Handsome Band has been on the bandstand for a long time, like we're definitely past the 2-hour mark, maybe past the 3rd-hour mark. We just might do this one with a little trumpet, an upright bass, maybe violin. And if it's one of those really, really good parties, like one of those really good wedding parties, somebody who's related to the bride or the groom will be on the microphone at some point. Well, she knocks me out with the way she do. She's got boots from LaRouche and a brand new tattoo. She came out swinging and it hurt my pride. Moving all around from side to side. You know, Austin women got a sense of style. Oh, Austin women got a sense of style. Oh, Austin women got a sense of style. You know, Austin women got a sense of style. She said, don't be shy, honey, call my phone. I got a Southside shanty and I'm all alone. Oh, I don't need you now, but I'll treat you right. If you stop on in on a Wednesday night. You know, Austin women got a sense of style. You know, Austin women got a sense of style. You know, Austin women got a sense of style. You Oh, Austin women got a sense of style. Oh, Austin women got a sense of style. Austin women got a sense of style. Oh, Austin women got a sense of style. Oh, Austin women got a sense of style. Austin women got a sense of style. Austin women got a sense of style. Jonathan Bird, a version of Austin Women Have a Sense of Style. This is Robert Sarazin Blake from the kitchen table, and I think we can squeeze one more song in from our friend visiting us this week all the way from South Dakota, but really we've gotten down to understanding he is coming at us from East Dakota. Matt, can you give us one more song from the new record?
I can. I'm going to try one that actually ain't on the record.
All right.
South Padre Island played a bar down there called the Black Marlin, and this is a song about that. Coming up with my first line sometimes. I'll do my dad's favorite song. It's called Out of Whack. Steve Fisher, this is the one he always wants me to play too, so. Here I am, 2/3 of me, going one way. That other third is always dragging me down. Know what it is, I try to stay out of its way, but today I must have woke up on the wrong side of town. Well, I ain't that far out of whack. Well, I don't know. Now and then I've got no get up and go. Do all I can to give it everything I've got. But here and there I ain't got a lot. 3 steps forward, I take 1 step back. I do all I can until I fall down flat. Stand up again, give it a go. I give all I got until I got no more. Well, I ain't that far out of whack. Well, I don't know. Now and then I got no get up and go. Do all I can until I ain't got it. Here and there I ain't got a lot. This friend of mine, sometimes he talks like a fool. He's as good as it gets, I've heard what he's been through. We sit around, sometimes our souls start to fly. And when he gets down, he's a real stand-up guy. And he ain't that far out of whack. Well, I don't know. Now and then he's got no get up and go. Does all he can to give it everything he's got. But here and there he ain't got a lot. So here I am, 2/3 of me going one way. That other third is always dragging me down.
Thank you, Matt Fockler, for being on the show this week. What a pleasure to hear you play.
Thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate it. I maybe plug my festival one more time.
Absolutely.
MontroseMusicFestival.com. I believe Johan's coming up.
Oh.
I'd love to talk you into driving over, of course, but love to see some of my Curvert friends roll up to South Dakota. We don't get much music in South Dakota. Everybody seems to want to play here, but I guess we don't ever pay any money up here in South Dakota is part of the problem. Just it's too far away from everything. They just drive through and don't stop and play.
Montrose is the name of the town you live in.
Yep.
And
I
that
grew
is
up
not
there.
too far from Sioux Falls. Is that correct?
Half hour west. It's
See,
a little
now
Irish town, actually.
We're getting an idea. It's an Irish town with a French name. Not too far away from Sioux Falls.
It was named after a wild rose we have growing out there, the Mountain of Roses.
Wow.
It's a little
Montrose.
short little. They're really yummy. They are loaded with vitamin C, so I eat them all the time. We got a mountain of them out there.
That's going to be last weekend in July. Is that right?
Yep.
If anyone's
And
looking
the
for a
following weekend is the Sioux River Folk Festival, which
Aha.
is about 50 years old now. And there's also next year we're co-oping with 3, so there'll be 3 festivals in a row, 3 weekends in a row. The Rhythm on the River, and then the Montrose Music Festival, and then the Sioux River Folk Festival. So trying to get it put together so people can book all 3 and stay in South Dakota for 3 weeks.
On their way to Bellingham for the Subdued
Yeah.
String Band Jamboree. This was going to work. Everybody's summer is now coming into focus here. I like it.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Love to have you up here.
I'm going to make it. I don't think it's looking good for this summer, but I'm definitely on my way. It's just I'm taking a long way around. I'm honored by the invitation, and I know we're dying to get Matt Fockler to the Jamboree, so we'll be talking
I'm
more
hoping that when you
about
come,
that.
you can bring your daughter, because that's I'm really pushing more community than music. I'd like to get my friends and their families here,
Oh, yeah.
more so than just coming to play music, but so my kids can hang out with my friends' kids.
I love it. I love it. Time to say goodnight. Thank you, everybody, for listening in to Robert Sarazin Blake from the Kitchen Table. And Matt has a new CD. That's mattfockler.com. Go pick up that new record. He'll mail it to you. He might even write you a little note once he mails it to you. I highly recommend picking up that record. You're going to love it. And please do consider throwing a few bucks into my Kickstarter while you're at it. Whoa, you're going to be out of money by Monday morning. Well, it's going to a good place, keeping the music rolling, because they're asking you as well to put a few dollars in the old digital tip jar. Hey, feeling low on funds? A $5's nice. Feeling like you got a few? Don't be afraid to turn that annuity into a gratuity. Thank you very much, everybody. We're going to wrap it up as we do here at the kitchen table, with our hearts going out to people living in the Ukraine, not knowing if a bomb's going to fall on them when they go to sleep at night. It's great to see you, because we thought you were dead. You come back to life, You get out of your bed, it's great to see you. Or is that your ghost? I thought you were gone. Burnt toast, it's great to see you. It's great to see you. I whisper nothing, sing softly on your ear. Try not to cut short the moment that's here. Shadow it might be, feeling's clear. I couldn't ask for anything more. It's all about the times we share. It's all about the times we share. Yeah, it's great to see you. Are you gonna stay? Are you here for the long night? Are you leaving at the break of day? It's great to see you. Yeah, it's true. It's great to see you. It's great to be near you. It's all about the times we share. It's all about the times we share. It's all about